Welcome to the Real Money Podcast, the only podcast where a top 0.01% producing real estate agent shows you exactly how to make real money in real estate. My name is Jacob McLaughlin, and in addition to this podcast, I'm an active realtor in Pennsylvania and the CEO of ReferralMate.co. In this show, I'm going to tell you something that I wish somebody told me when I started my career about 6 years ago. It's time to stop playing with the puppies and start playing with the big dogs. In real estate, everybody acts like luxury is something you need to break into, or investors are this big, scary guy in the corner of the room that you can't approach. But honestly, working with luxury real estate and investors is the best decision that I ever made, and I'm going to tell you how to do so in this video. Luxury is not something that you need to break into, and commercial real estate is no longer an old boys club. You could break into these markets starting today, and like I said, this video is going to show you the exact steps on how I did it as a new-ish real estate agent. The step one, you need to know the numbers like the back of your hand. Now this relates to short-term rentals or long-term rentals or large multifamily or commercial buildings. You need to know every number before your clients even ask you. And that just shows them that you know what you're talking about, care about what you're doing, and they could trust you in these transactions. You need to know the vacancy rate, the ROI, the cap rate, the down payment, the average daily rate, and everything in between. You have to have these answers before they even ask. And the easiest way to do this is by just asking the listing agent to provide it to you before the showing. And when you have that, just study it and learn it. So when your clients ask you, which they're bound to do, you already have the answers that they're looking for. And I promise you, it will impress them and they will like you from the beginning. Last year, I was 24 years old and I sold a 27-unit apartment building for $3.4 million. How did a 24-year-old who never sold anything bigger than a 6-unit get into a $3.4 million deal with 27 units? It's actually pretty simple. I presented it to my clients. Before I even did that, I had the information because I knew he was going to call me right away and ask what the average nightly rental is, what the average monthly rental is, what the commercial units are renting for, the garages are renting for. I knew all of this before I even sent it to him. I sent it to him, he liked it, it was in his buy box. We looked at it a few days later, and before I even opened the first lockbox, I knew that he was in and I was going to close this deal. The step two, dress the part. I know that's pretty bold to say from somebody talking to you in a red t-shirt, but it's a whole branding thing that we're trying to build over here. But if you're going into luxury listings and you have dirty shoes or your tie is crooked, you're going to write yourself off before you even get in the building. When I was meeting with these clients last year, they never saw me not in a suit. And it's funny because they saw me in the same suit every single time because I literally only had one. So it's not how much money you have, it's how much effort do you put into yourself. You need to have a fresh haircut. You need to be wearing something nice, and no, it doesn't need to be a super expensive suit. Like I said, I had one suit that I bought from Nordstrom Rack for $89. It's not about how expensive it is, it's how you present yourself to these clients. Now, before you go out and go purchase a brand new Mercedes or a $100,000 BMW, that's not the point. The point is not going and spending a ton of money on your appearance or your suits or your shoes or even your car. Like I said before, these clients never saw me not in a suit, but it wasn't a super expensive suit. Something else these people saw me in was a 2017 Kia Forte that was hideous. It was like a weird brown color that you would never ever want to drive. But when I started the year, I didn't really have that much going on, so it's what I could afford. Now, going to these listing appointments, it was never a question. It wasn't, oh gosh, this guy's in an old brown car, I'm not going to work with him. I presented myself in a way that they trusted me no matter what car I was in. And it was funny because the car actually came up in a few conversations and it was always like, yeah, I'm just debt free. I don't want to have to pay for a car payment. But realistically, I couldn't afford a brand new car. I ended the year and now we have a nice Volvo, but I sold $24 million worth of real estate in 2025 in a hideous four-door brown 2017 Kia Forte. So the way that you present yourself does not mean you need to go spend a ton of money. It means you need to be clean cut, you need to have your hair done, you need to smell good, and at minimum, be wearing a nice outfit. Step number three, money loves speed. My most rich client, and I mean very rich with hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate, love speed. If they text me at 11 o'clock at night, I answer them as fast as possible. And it's funny because if I text them at 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning, they answer me within minutes. The reason they do this is because they need to move fast, especially in real estate. As we all know, time is of the essence. So if you're just taking 2 days to get back to them, or they asked you to send the OM or something, or schedule a showing, and you're taking days to do that, they're going to stop talking to you. They realistically, high-end investors, they do not need you. You need them. There are thousands of agents in every single market, and these investors know that they have their pick of those agents. So if you're showing up and you're looking sloppy, you don't know your numbers, and you take forever to answer them, I promise you that they will just ghost you completely. They won't say bye. They won't say have a nice life. They won't say you're the greatest person ever. I really hope we can work together in the future. They will ghost you, and at best, they'll say, stop messaging me. So you need to answer these people very quickly. Time is of the essence, and money loves speed. And step number 4, my biggest tip, and this is something you need to take very seriously and make sure you don't overdo it, but don't be boring. I know that sounds crazy because we all think investors and rich people are super clean cut and they're super organized and they're a better scale of person than the average buyer that you have. But realistically, you can't be boring. These people are just like you. They like to have fun. They like to hang out. They like to curse. They like to drink. Realistically, I've drank beer with my clients after showings at 11:30 in the morning. I've cursed. I've joked. I've even poked a little bit of fun at them. But if you do it the right way, you'll actually become friends with these people rather than just seeing them as this crazy, scary investor or really rich person. You actually could show your true personality. Now, when I say that, you can't overstep. You can't make everything a joke and make everything funny or try to squeeze in jokes where they're not appropriate. But realistically, if you show these people your personality and they like you, you become their friend, and then them going to find a new agent doesn't exist because you go from them being your client to them being your friend and or sometimes your mentor. So the last step is don't be boring. So again, breaking into luxury does not exist. Luxury is out there. You could go work with it right now. Commercial real estate, high-end real estate is not an old boys club. You could get into it right now by following the 4 steps that this video told you. And again, like I said in the beginning, I'm the CEO of ReferralMate.co. If I'm being honest, we're releasing all this content so that you come join us on ReferralMate. It's completely free. It's a large agent-to-agent referral network with over 12,500 agents and over $350 million in referrals exchanged in the last 18 months. And again, it's free, so come check us out.